Hey everyone, alright, so it's time for another unboxing, this time for X-Men Apocalypse. This is the book pack edition, which is exclusive to Amazon UK. It's just arrived. I just got in to see it had been posted through the letterbox, so I thought first thing I'll load this up and I'll get right into an unboxing. So I got the book pack edition for Days of Future Past as well, and that was fantastic. You know, I was really pleased with the detail and the time and effort that had been spent on that. Such a shame they never did one for First Class, but yeah, it started with Days of Future Past and they've carried it on for this one, X-Men Apocalypse. Now, just to go off track for a little bit, I mean, I didn't do a review of X-Men Apocalypse. I saw it twice in the theatre, actually. The first time I saw it as part of like a triple bill midnight screening, you know, First Class, Days of Future Past and Apocalypse back to back. And do you know what? I love this movie. I think a lot of people have been very harsh on this. This is actually, I think this is my favourite X-Men movie, legitimately. And some people have been saying it's the worst. No way is this the worst. I mean, when you compare it to Origins Wolverine and The Last Stand, this is not the worst. And you know what? I mean, I'd say this movie's even stronger than the first X-Men movie. I mean, of course, that was a groundbreaking movie for its time, you know, very significant movie in terms of comic book movies, you know. It was one of, like, the first legitimate ones. I mean, I know, of course, we'd had Blade before that. But, yeah, and I guess you could count The Crow as well, Brandon Lee's The Crow. But, yeah, I appreciate X-Men. Bryan Singer's first film was very much a groundbreaking film. But, you know, looking back, I mean, yeah, it was better than Last Stand and it was better than Origins Wolverine. But yeah, you know, it was just certainly an enjoyable movie. But of course, things really picked up in X-Men 2, and I stand by that. That X-Men 2 is one of the best X-Men. You know, if I was to kind of rank them objectively, like from best to worst, this is an objective rating. I think you've got to put, I think objectively speaking, Days of Future Past might take first place, you know, and then follow it with like First Class and then X-Men 2, and then I might put like this one after that. But yeah, this is certainly my favourite. So let's get into this, you know. So I've defended X-Men Apocalypse, shared my thoughts on it, loved the film, loved the 80s setting, and James McAvoy, oh God, I love him as Charles Xavier. And I tell you what, I've got to, because you can see I'm a hair guy, he has a glorious head of hair on him in this movie, and it was absolutely heartbreaking when he lost it at the end, you know, when Apocalypse tries to start the transfer procedure to transfer his consciousness into Charles. Oh, it was heartbreaking, man, for me. But then, of course, I loved... Did you notice how afterwards, when they have the mind battle, how when he's in his mind, he still had the awesome 80s hair? So that was a nice little touch. But yeah, absolutely loved this movie. And like I say, I pre-ordered this as soon as it became available. So of course you've got the cover, very much like what's on the poster, and of course this is, you know, on the standard Blu-ray, I think. And of course you can see on the back there. Of course, is much like with X-Men Days of Future Past, ultraviolet download included as well, so that's always a nice touch. Get a slipcase, so that acts as the slipcase. Now for the design of the book pack itself, you can see really nice design. They've gone for like a yearbook design, which is a very nice touch. I mean, some people said in the movie they were disappointed that they didn't play around more with the 80s setting. Of course, in the 60s you had, in First Class, you had elements of the Cold War in there. Days of Future Past, the fallout from Vietnam. This film, not so much, but I like in the promotion of it how they've played around with the 80s vibe. Because do you remember they did that promotional video for X-Men Apocalypse, where it was like an advertisement for Xavier's school for gifted youngsters, and it was like an 80s infomercial. That was fantastic, and I'm glad they've kind of like continued the theme here. So yeah, you got the front cover of it there with the 1983 year on it, and of course X-Men logo on the back. So let's just get into this and see if I can get the cellophane off. Probably should have done this first, but hey, it's alright. There we go. It's the hard part over with. But yeah, I mean, sorry to continue on, but I really don't understand all the hate that X-Men Apocalypse has received. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, out of the new trilogy, since they kind of like rebooted things with First Class, yeah, it's probably the weakest of the new trilogy. Fair enough, fair enough. I won't dispute that, but I don't know whether it's me being a lover of the 80s, but this film, really, I had a blast with it. But like I say, I saw it twice and it held up for me second time round. So, opens off UV code there in the front. So it opens up, and as you go through, much like Days of Future Past, there's like you've got the profile pics for each of the characters. I wish they could have got a shot of McAvoy with the 80s hair rather than going back, because that's one thing I'll say I was surprised about this film. Because you see, I think what the final shot of the trailer is the final shot of the film. You know, McAvoy, he's in the suit, he's got the bald head. But yeah, for most of the movie, he has hair. It's only in like the last half hour where he loses the hair. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll come across. Oh yes, yeah, there we go. So yeah, got Charles. You got Hank McCoy, you got Mystique. That's one thing I won't dispute. Jennifer Lawrence in this movie, starting to get a bit tired of her, to be honest with you. I mean, I never really liked it. I'd have kept the original Raven. Was it Rebecca Romaine? She was fantastic. There you go. You got a great shot of McAvoy with the 80s hair there, in cruising along with Havoc and Moira, Rose Byrne. We've got some more shots here. You got Cyclops, and you got guys at the mall. Speaking of which, I'll have a look at the special features in a minute if they're listed. Hopefully we'll get some deleted scenes. Also, as you might see, there's some really nice comments, like yearbook comments, you might be able to pick up on there. But yeah, that's a nice touch. So we've got a quote from Jubilee in there. We've got a quote from Nightcrawler. We've got some more quotes here. Again, we've got the shots of Jean Grey and Scott Summers and Beast, of course. Yeah, some really great photos. So it's nice. I tell you what, it looks as though they've maintained the standard. They've perhaps even gone further in depth than what they did for the Days of Future Past. So we get Quicksilver, of course, and a few more shots of the X-Men guys. But yeah, this looks a lot more in depth than what they did for Days of Future Past, because of course, like, it was more a case of each character just getting their own page with their own like profile photo, whereas no, this has gone a lot more in depth. Oh, there we go. Finally, a shot of Jubilee. I know a lot of people complained that there wasn't enough Jubilee in the film. Again, hopefully in the deleted scenes there'll be some really great stuff in there. But by the looks of things, first impressions, because I think this is on Amazon for $16.99, so not a lot more than what the standard Blu-ray and cheaper than what the 3D Blu-ray would be. But looking at this, I think this was worth it. Again, some more. You got and shot of 80s McAvoy with Jubilee in the centre of the page. I'm sorry, I can't get enough of James McAvoy in this movie. I mean, I've got to say, Michael Fassbender is fantastic as Magneto. Consistently throughout the trilogy, he's given a really, really strong performance. I mean, as much as I love Ian McKellen, for me, Mike Fassbender is Magneto. But my shining star of these X-Men films is James McAvoy. I absolutely love James McAvoy. And again, as fantastic as Patrick Stewart was, as fantastic as Patrick Stewart was in those original X-Men films with Bryan Singer, for me, James McAvoy is Charles. I'm sorry, although I tell you what, looking forward to seeing Patrick Stewart in Logan. I'm sure he'll be fantastic in that. But yeah, absolutely love James McAvoy as Charles Xavier. Again, similar principle to Obi-Wan. I mean, as fantastic as Alec Guinness is in the original film, Ewan McGregor for me is Obi-Wan. So it's a similar principle, and it's ironic, you know, both Scotsmen playing very much English characters, but for some reason, you know, they managed to do a better performance, or for me anyway, than the actual English actors who portrayed them originally. It comes to something when you need to get a Scotsman to play an English character better than an actual English guy, you know. And a few more shots here. Finally got a shot of Magneto in his... Do you know, I actually really liked the new helmet he got in this one. You know, that had like the dark red tone to it. As you can see over here, you got the shot from the fist fight between 80s McAvoy and Apocalypse. Now, I've got to say, that was probably my favourite sequence in this film, that mind battle, and it actually got an audible reaction, because obviously it starts off, you know, goes into the mind battle, they stood opposite each other, then James McAvoy marches full speed ahead towards Apocalypse. You know, you want to see what I see, you want to feel what I feel, then he just starts unloading on him. Honestly, got a really audible reaction from me in the film. I absolutely loved that shot. Again, another couple more. Like I say, I'm surprised. I think there's more pages to this one as well, you know, than what was in the Days of Future Past one. So it looks as though they've really, really, really upped the ante. Oh my god. Lucas Till, I tell you what, Lucas Till was absolutely gorgeous in this new film. Is coming back playing Havoc. I loved his hair in the film as well. Of course, just so happens that he was growing it to play MacGyver at the time, so it was a happy coincidence. Yeah, I mean, look at that shot there. I mean, it's like something out of a... yeah, absolutely. It's like posing for an aftershave commercial or something. I'd buy it. But yeah, Lucas Till was really good in this, and again, I'll say that's one thing that was disappointing about this film. You know how they dealt with Havoc. You know how they left it ambiguous as to whether he was alive or dead, but we still never got an answer at the end of it. That was, I mean, even because there was the really nice addition of a post-credit scene again at the end with was it Mr. Sinister, or the guy who would go on to be, but yeah, it would have been nice if we could have got something more on Havoc as well. And oh, nice touch there. The last page of the book is the address for the school. But yeah, this is really nice. And finally, of course, at the end you've got the disc. Yeah, so this was nice. This is nice. Really pleased with this. And again, for only £1 or £2 more than what it would cost for the standard Blu-ray, and you get the slip case and digital download included as well. So That's nice. Okay, so special features, deleted / extended scenes with optional intro by Bryan Singer. Awesome. Gag reel, that'll be fun. Rap party video, fun. X-Men Apocalypse Unearthed documentary, good. Fantastic audio commentary by Bryan Singer and Simon Kinberg. That'll be I'm sure fascinating to watch. Stills gallery, of course, and Easter egg. Oh, can't wait to see what that is. So some nice special features there by the sound of it. I always like it when they do an audio commentary. So glad to have that. But yeah, really pleased with all this stuff. Sorry, I should say as well, this is specifically Region B, this book pack. So again, just to let you know, of course, make sure you have a Region B player or a code-free player if you're thinking about getting this. But yeah, really pleased with this. Like I say, it'll be nice to go back and have a look through it properly. But yeah, so just to give you a quick shot of what you get with this, I think it's worth it. And of course, if you got the book pack edition for Days of Future Past, it'd be nice to go along with have this to go along with that one. So yeah, really pleased with this. And again, if you loved X-Men Apocalypse and you wanted to get it, you know, I'd recommend getting this this set rather than the standard Blu-ray. And of course, I'm not a lover of 3D anyway, so I never bother with like the 3D Blu-rays. But yeah, really pleased with this. Glad we got some shots with McAvoy in there with the awesome 80s hair. But yeah, absolutely loved this film, and absolutely am really over the moon with this book pack edition, so highly recommend this. So that concludes the unboxing, and hey, feel free to comment your thoughts on the film itself, and if you got this book pack edition as well, please feel free to share your thoughts on it as well. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this interesting and helpful, and if you decide to go ahead and buy this book pack, I hope you guys enjoy it and are as pleased with it as I am. So thanks for sticking with me, guys, and I shall see you all next time. Thank you, everyone.